Okay, we're back. I had to take a pit stop there. I got so excited with myself, I've given myself a headache. Okay, when I'm looking at this, like, I see mountains in here. My tape's not faring very well. It has been stuck down like this for over a week, so that's going to be trouble coming off, but we'll worry about that later. Yeah, I kind of see like some mountains maybe, like one here and then like a valley. So I don't know whether we could do something like that. I would like to try and squeeze in as many of these mediums as possible, and I think I'll be able to do all three, because what I thought was we could maybe have we could darken down the top part of the sky a little bit, maybe use a little bit of like a purpley colour, and we could leave that to dry and put the iridescent medium over the top, like sort of twinkly sky, you know, like coming into night time. The sand texture gel I'm not so sure about. Maybe we could have, so I've got like a bald bit of canvas here, so maybe we could put some rocks in here in the sand texture. And the modelling paste, I thought we could thicken that up and make these mountains look a bit more protruding. Make them more prominent, there we go, and have them protrude from the paper. So that's kind of my thinking. And I really want to try out the Bob Ross mountain technique of pew, like this as well. I've wanted to do that my entire life, so I think this may be the place to do it. If you don't know what I'm talking about, where have you been for your entire life under a rock? Go and watch any Bob Ross video where he paints mountains and you'll see what I'm talking about. I get far too excited with myself, I really am. I have got stuff everywhere, but I'm kind of happy about it for once in my life, which is also unusual. So let's see if we can get some sky in here first of all. So I think I'm going to use this big plate because I need room to kind of mix stuff about. I don't know whether it should be purple or like a reddy purple, or that might just completely ruin it. I'm really not too sure about this at all. Or maybe we could have like, let's try and mix some purple and see what happens. So I've got the ultramarine, because I was thinking more like, yeah, this kind of colour, with some of this, I keep going to say rose carmine, it's permanent rose. And I'm getting through this tube pretty quickly. I seem to have a thing for this pink colour. So let's see if we can pull this out a little bit and pick up a tiny smidge of this blue and see what that gives us. Oh yeah, there we go. See, that's quite nice. Not entirely convinced about making up quantities yet, because I'm going to need a little bit more experience with, you know, just working with this as a medium, I think. But I'm sure that's something that will come with time. I'm pretty confident that that will be the case. Do I want to use a big flat brush for this and like kind of dry brush it on? That might be a better idea. I could end up ruining this, but that is a risk that I am willing to take. Yeah, just maybe like try and darken this down a little bit. Okay, we're gonna have to go darker than that, because that's going to be a mountain there, but I can paint over the top of it. I kind of forgot about that for a second there, the fact that we can layer it up. I'll make that a bit darker. I could have done with a little bit more paint. See, this is the thing, I tend to go like far too far with it, or like I've got nowhere near enough. So I'm just gonna like, yeah, let's it. I don't know, does that count as a mild profanity? I suppose it does, doesn't it? YouTube have started asking you if you have these things in your videos when you're uploading them, and 9 times out of 10 my answer is no, because I tend to keep things family friendly, but I think that phrase might be one of the ones that that causes an issue, so I might edit that out. It doesn't cause an issue, it just they just ask you to declare it, kind of thing, and it's so that they can decide which advertisers would be happy to monetize your videos. I think that just at this very top part here, I'm gonna have to, I don't really want to let that dry. This is the thing. I'm just brain farting out loud here, guys. I know that probably doesn't make any sense to you whatsoever. I don't expect it to. I'll take a little blob of black as well. I just want a tiny bit of dark sky. I don't want like masses of it along the top here. And maybe put my mountain in front of it. I'm just leaving the purple that was on the brush because it's all going to mix together anyway. And get like a sort of indigo-y type colour. Yeah, and then we'll pop that in right along the top. And then we could maybe, I'm kind of reluctant to do this. So it's almost like a dry brushing technique here. And I'm trying to sort of soften this out a little bit. Oh, that looks like a rain cloud coming down. And just sort of pat this paint out. Maybe get rid of some of my actual brush strokes a little bit. Yeah, there we go. See, I'm able to soften that out with a damp brush. I'm almost using like a U-shaped motion there. This is purely experimental. I'm not even going to pretend that I know what I'm talking about here, but it seems to, it's just like an instinctual thing, and it seems to kind of do the trick. It almost looks like storm clouds are coming down, and in the context of the picture I'm actually okay with that, but I'm still going to make it sparkly anyway. I know that that doesn't make sense in normal people's heads because clouds wouldn't be sparkly, it's the sky that would be sparkly, but who said art has to make sense, let's be fair. So I'm going to leave that to dry just as it is. And I'm going to try and pick out some of these mountains now, so I'm going to have to think about colours again here. I kind of want to stick with what's there, and I'm not sure that I actually want to touch this part, but maybe have more of a defined one here. So I think I'm going to stick with this kind of indigo-y colour, but I'm going to like kind of mix more of it up. So that is the ultramarine, and again I might scoop up some of this black. And I seem to get on really well with this big flat brush as well. I'm really enjoying this brush. And again, I don't like when I'm doing watercolour, I tend to, I've got a separate brush that I use to mix my colours. I don't actually paint with the same brush. And see, that's going to look quite dark, but this is quite a dark part of the painting. Now I'm going to grab the modelling paste and try and mix some of this in, and it's probably going to gloop up on my brush, but that's kind of what I'm looking to do. I can't get over how bad this stuff smells like. It really stinks. So I'm just going to scoop some of this up, and it's really rigid on the actual knife and in the tub, but I suppose you would kind of expect that as well, wouldn't you? But you're not in any danger of it like sort of, you know, like dropping off somewhere. So let's just stick that in there. I don't know whether to mix it with the palette knife. Maybe that might be a good idea. It is making it a lot lighter though. And it kind of looks like the iridescent stuff right now, and I'm not too convinced about that at all. But okay. Ooh, I think that's way too much paint. I don't know how to get this off my brush. Oh, get off my palette knife. It is very textured. I can say for sure that that definitely works. So we pick up a roll of paint with our palette knife by scraping it across. So we've got a little roll on the end. Bob Ross, eat your heart out. And then I think we just that didn't really work, but look, it's given me like a ridge. Oh, I've got it all over the other side of me. Oh no. I forgot about the other side. Oh yeah, this is amazing. Look, oh. Oh, we've got texture. So maybe I just want to it looks more like a hill now, doesn't it? Dagnammit. I've ruined my mountain. Okay. It's just a hillock, it's not a mountain. It's fine. Now I'm going to have to go in the opposite direction on this side, which is weird because I am left-handed. Just a technique that we're going to have to learn. If we ever want to be like Bob Ross, then we have to learn. So I'm going to be going that way. Wow, that's confusing. I think that's way too much paint as well. So I'm going to go this way. Okay, I'm getting a really big ridge like here, but I kind of want to leave it, like, because the whole point of this was to get texture on it. So once this is dry, I'm going to like, oh, look, no, I don't want lines, I don't want lines, stop doing that. Does that look like a mountain? Probably not, but... And then there's clearly another one here as well. Oh, see, that looks cool. See, I should have just left it alone from the get-go. Why did you guys not tell me just to leave it alone? Does that look like... I don't know what's going on in the middle here with the pink. It's just like a pink valley. I'm still really enjoying this whole texture carry on. It's fun. Maybe just a little bit here. It makes them look like a rocky... precipice. No, that's the wrong word, isn't it? It's not precipice. Precipice is a bit that sticks out. I kind of want to do it down the bottom here. This is very addictive. I think I've just picked the right colour as well because it stands out enough to make a difference, but it's not like, oh, it's clear that she's not done this at the same time as everything else. I didn't start that one high enough up. Who knew? Oh, there we go. That's fine. I'm okay with that. Yep. Okay. I'm at peace with this. Kind of want one smooth line down there. That just looks as if I've squished that on the paper, which of course that's exactly what I've done. Yeah. Is this dry yet? Oh, this is dry. Okay, so I'm just going to go with the iridescent medium. I'm going to have to try and do this without... Like, I have no idea what this is going to look like. I think I'm going to have to kind of like... I can't just paint in a straight line with it, can I? I'm going to have to like... go with the flow of my sort of cloudy things here. Now that looks as if it's just white. And if that's the case, it's not going to look very good. Maybe I should have thinned this down. Maybe we're just going to make cloud shapes with it. Why not? It is kind of difficult to work with just on a brush like this. See if I can... Yeah, it's just basically made sparkly water. I don't know what I thought was going to happen, but... Oh, goodness me. I thought, talk about state the obvious, Gem. So I'm just trying to mix that in, and it is mixing, but it's back to this whole, the thing with the WH Smith. I'm like, I'm really having to like go at it here. Come on, dissolve a bit more, make me happy. So, I don't know if I like this at all. I think I'm regretting this. It's like a bit of regret, and it dries really quickly. Oh my goodness. Wow, that's drying quickly. I wasn't expecting it to be that dry. I feel as if I'm going to have to go over that entire thing because it just looks as if I've put PVA glue over the top of my picture. This is all a learning curve. Come on, Gem. Don't get emotional. It's fine. We're here to learn. That's what we're doing. Yeah, that doesn't look very good at all. We'll let it dry and see what happens. That's pretty much all we can do at this point. I know quite often I try and save paintings when I'm doing things like this, and I'm not trying to save that. I'm not even going to pretend that I can fix that. I know my limits. I mean, this stuff is so globby, like it really is. I don't know how long this is going to take to dry. I don't want to destroy all my beautiful textured parts. Like I don't want to destroy what's already there. That's going down quite nicely on the top though. That looks okay, right? I'm happy with that one. Okay, at least I've got one mountain I'm happy with. Get off my palette knife. So we kind of have to like squish it out a bit. Squish it flat and then take this at a much tighter angle. Oh, yeah, look, because we've got a little baby mountain there now as well. Oh. I know guys, easily amused, easily amused. I kind of just want to leave that as it is, do you know that? Right, okay, what if we mix in some more, again, probably going to regret this instantly, but never mind, into this textured carry-on that's going on here. And if I use a different palette knife now, seeing as I've decimated that one, maybe this one. Okay, that didn't do anything like what I thought it was going to do. Don't know where I'm going with this, guys. Nope. Nope. Okay, nope. Nope. I was going to try and have like, there's still a surprising amount of texture in this. Like, even though it's much thinner and it's on the brush. Okay, that looks not too bad. Now, in hindsight, if I had done this first, I could have gone over the top with the this paler blue, but you know what? I'm actually okay with this too. This is all about a little experiment today. I feel really sorry for you guys that actually do acrylic painting and you're just going to be sitting there cringing. And I've said that quite a few times about quite a few things that I've tried. And I'm like, I do actually like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for all you people that actually do this properly, like for a living or are very experienced hobby artists, because this must be torture. So it's quite mountainous. I don't suppose there'll be much in the way of greenery, shrubbery, you know, that kind of thing. So I think what we'll do is we'll take a teeny tiny paintbrush and I'm just going to take a little bit of black and I'll draw in like a lone sort of dead looking tree or something, because I think this might be quite a barren landscape. Okay, so I've got this sand texture gel now. I am going to try and get the lid off it for a kicker. There we go. Oh my goodness, that's just horrendous. And I think what we'll try and do is I'm going to try and put like a bit of a rock shape in here. That might ruin it though. Oh, I know what we'll do. We'll make a path. That's what we'll do. We'll do it in the sand texture. Okay, right, okay. Again, I'm not really, this wasn't really going to make any sense trying to squeeze all these mediums into one painting, but the fact is that I am willing to try, just so that we can demonstrate everything. I don't know whether it would be better doing this like on a more traditional like artist's palette, you know, a flat palette. I think that would probably be wise, and again, that's something that I will bear in mind for next time, but it's not something that I own. I'm not sure about the texture of this sand stuff at all. I think if you were doing like architectural paintings, you know, you're in buildings and stuff, it might be a bit more useful. I may have to investigate that a little bit further in my spare time, my little spare time that I have. Okay, so maybe this path comes from like here somewhere. It is really gloopy. I want it kind of like coming round the side of this ridge here, and then it can maybe disappear about there, so I need to widen this up. And I mean, the sand texture is there, but it's just not doing anything at all. I don't know whether I should have used much thicker paint or thinner paint and do it in layers, but I just feel like this is it's not really consistent. I'm going to get my tiny brush out. Does that look better? And maybe this should come all the way down here. There, yeah, okay, I've figured out where the path's going now. It's disappearing in behind this mountain here. I wonder where it goes. Maybe it leads to a cave where a bear lives. Maybe it's a mutated bear. So maybe it's a monster, it's a bear monster. So it's a bear crossed with a chicken? Okay, maybe not a chicken. Maybe a something else. Okay, I'm kind of liking this grainy texture now. You can only see it when you're up really close, but you can probably see it more there. That might also look like a river. It has occurred to me that may look like a river, and I can't say that I'm particularly disappointed or upset by that prospect either. Okay, so I'm going to get some black now. Oh, yourself. Pip's making funny noises. And we'll maybe have barren crooked tree just in here. Oh, and maybe it's one of these ones that leans away over. You know, it's been caught in the wind. Because I would imagine there would be a fair wind that whistles down here. Maybe there's one down in the front here as well. And maybe it's growing out the side of the mountain. Oh yeah. Maybe there's a little line of trees here. I'm getting a bit of a tree addiction going on here now. Let's have a forked one. Maybe there's like a couple of bushes or something. It looks a bit more like a Christmas tree, but never mind. Okay, I could sit here and do this all day, but I think I have demonstrated my point. I just want to have a quick look at this iridescent stuff up the top, and it is very white, so I think in terms of using it with dark paint, you're better mixing it in with the paint rather than trying to overpaint like I've done there. But you can see it is very, very shimmery indeed, and this textured paint is absolutely amazing. I'm really into this, and I think I'd like to explore that a little bit more. So yeah, I'm going to call it quits there, guys. I have had an absolute ball today, and I know some of this didn't quite go according to plan, but that's half the charm and half the fun of doing these types of videos, and it's certainly why I enjoy them. So all that's left to do is for me to thank you very much for watching, and we shall see you back on our regular schedule for another video. Thanks everybody, stay safe, and bye for now.